Ah, GamesMaster. A beautiful package of retro tech, confused celebrities, and a revered elderly astronomer digitised into a giant Zardos-style head, all held together by a presenter who seemed like he was trying to get fired. Each of GamesMaster's 126 episodes are a treasure trove of 90s weirdness, a trackline time capsule of history's dumbest era, until the one we're in now. With so many hours of television, let's sort them according to guest appearances, starting with wrestlers.
Hulkamania has arrived!
GamesMaster was an occasional stop for these most concussed of all celebs, beginning in 1992 with episode 7 of the first series. Changing its aesthetic every year, we start inside an old church. Dominic Diamond sat at a giant organ, which just a short time later, he'd definitely have turned into a gag about having a massive knob. The fun in revisiting the show is tracking his evolution, and jumping from here to the final series is like prison films, where some nervous Nelly goes in for littering and comes out covered in tattoos, with a couple of shower room murders under their belt. At the dawn, Diamond's at his most boyish, the happy-go-lucky affability of a legitimate children's presenter.
We're going to go straight into the first one now, so let's call up the man who put the M in microchip, the GamesMaster.
Titular GamesMaster Sir Patrick Moore's in his initial form, part cyborg with a pipe coming out of his head, and a big eyepiece giving futuristic upgrade to the ever-present monocle.
We've got our usual licorice all sorts of a show for you tonight, with news, tips, reviews and 3 game playing challenges.
In contrast to Bad Influence, GamesMaster was all about these challenges, throwing one open to the audience for James Pond Robocod, for what might be the most child-friendly tableau in the entire run.
Okay, and next we have
Julie Marlowe.
Welcome to GamesMaster Julie, and finally
Claire McNeely.
Okay then.
When you remember Grandma's gonna be watching.
3 seconds left, 3, 2, 1, I think you're gonna get it all!
These kids are nobodies. What do I want to watch a nobody for?
Now it's time for our celebrity challenge, and we'll go over to GamesMaster to find out what it is.
The game is WrestleMania Challenge, giving an early contender for a proto-Dominic pun about wanking.
No one likes a good grapple more than I do, and I am positively dribbling at the prospect of this bout.
First of our wrestling guests is none more old school, Kendo Nagasaki.
Now, how do you fancy your chances against the man who has pasted Big Daddy in the past?
Bit confident, but I'll see how it goes.
Okay, that's great. Now, you're against Kendo, or can I call you Ken? Okay.
A white fella from Shropshire called Peter pretending to be a mystical, mute Japanese samurai. Kendo was fastidious about never breaking character, and a right barrel of laughs on appearances like this. He's lightened up of late, taking off the mask for Q&As to promote his autobiography, and news stories where he's evicting the parents of murdered Fusilier, Lee Rigby.
Dominic, excuse me.
I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm Lloyd Ryan, Kendo's manager. I'm afraid you'll have to talk to me because Kendo won't speak to anybody.
Glad Jazz Rignall's not under a mask, as we'd have missed those luscious locks. A repeated visual in these contests is enormous, barely dressed men sat next to children, and as a requirement to all celebrity guests, none of them have ever played, or perhaps even seen, a video game before. Aimlessly wandering and kicking the air, Kendo's so little idea of what he's doing, they might as well have given the controller to a cat. At no point during the match does his character face the right direction.
He's got to get in close. He's got to use A button. Couple of punches.
But there's a lovely bit of business when he loses.
He's put it down. David, congratulations. 1 fall in the very first round. You certainly gave Kendo a pasting there.
Sure did.
I haven't got to say anything about Kendo's defeat. I think we've been conned and we're not staying in here. We're going.
Along with the golden joystick, the boy gets a replica belt, and was obviously told by his mum to be polite and thank that nice Mr. Diamond.
Thank you. Thank you.
What a well brought up young man. Over in the consultation zone, which you may have just realised is a pun, kids as comfortable on camera as the Joris Bonson guy who need to locate the key for Willy Wank Dungeon on the Blobotron Skid Boy can ask Patrick Moore's big head.
On Zelda, I can't for the life of me find the whistle in the second quest. Do you know where it is?
Have you got that?
Yes, thanks very much.
Oh, thanks very much. Bye.
Final challenge is Thunder Force 3, and as Dom's co-commentator's wearing a red cap, it's time to make double entendres great again.
Neil says, use your weapon wisely.
That's a start.
Now it's got a very tight passage here.
A year or two later, Dom would have jumped on a line like this, but not quite yet.
He won't hit him on the helmet because the helmet's invincible.
Just left begging. So frustrating.
Any bits in particular that were very hard?
God, let's just skip ahead. Series 2 puts us on an oil rig, actually Kempton Pumping Station, a location you may recognise from 2 episodes of Red Dwarf, while Dom's still the clean-cut scamp from Series 1. Or is he?
And welcome to Bonfire Night GamesMaster, an orgiastic Catherine wheel of video game news, tips, reviews and challenges. So, keep your dogs and pussies safely locked up inside in case there are any big bangs.
You can't blame him. Every 90s journalist was almost fatally infected with innuendo-itis.
You want to sack the council and lynch the planners? You got it. You want a massive erection in the middle of the high street? You've got it.
First challenge on Mole Patrol sees an unusual peripheral. I'll let this teen explain.
Yeah, this is a bazooka and you hold it on your shoulder and you need quite a steady hand to use it.
For this one you've got to get 17 moles in a minute. How well have you been doing?
Well, I've played it once, so it'll be quite a tough challenge.
Imagine these two saw each other across the battlefield. There's a competition to design a game via Amos. No, not the inventor of the Nene. This.
It's the mega-selling software package.
So get writing games now.
Alright, calm down. After a typically charismatic promo from the British Bulldog.
And heed the words of the British Bulldog. Nobody likes to lose. I've said my piece. Back to you, GamesMaster.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan gets a USA chant going in a pumping station filled with British school kids. This is where your wrestlers differ from the usual guests. You wouldn't get Chakademus or Tug Off Home and Away taking over the show like this.
As a matter of fact, I don't think I want to talk to you anymore out here, and I'm going to play. Here I come. This way.
A man in his pants armed with a plank of wood slinging children over his shoulder. You'd never get this now, because of woke. Hacksaw is terrific value, talking to himself the whole way through, trying to figure out the buttons.
Trousers, hiding crockers with the Undertaker.
Using the ropes there. Using the ropes, the Undertaker. No, he's...
And of course, another famous face tastes defeat. And his participation trophy. Hacksaw abducts the lady diver who hands out the joysticks.
Oh, he's off! He doesn't need any prompting! Round of applause for Hacksaw Jim Duggan!
Hacksaw, get yourself to the consultation zone.
I've heard there's a secret exit leading off the Cheese Bridge area on Super Mario World. Can you tell me where it is?
Got it?
Yes, thanks a lot.
I can get to the floating platforms, but I can't get past the spinning lollipops.
Got that?
Yes, thanks.
In a change from the usual surly youths, a pair of surprising challenges for King of the Monsters 2, like when they did old people episodes on Blind Date.
So please give a warm welcome to Auntie Marisha and Letty Edwards from Bristol. Lovely on you, come. All right, Annie, how are you?
Very well.
Good. All right, great.
Co-commentator is the game's animal himself, Dave Perry, whose fashion sense is best described as he likes American things.
But really, it's ideal for granny grapple.
Are our two competitors ready? Then off you go. No, I think Annie Mitchell's gone. Annie Mitchell's gone. Ladies, the winner.
I enjoyed it.
For such a bogmouth, he's very respectful of his elders.
And Annie Mauricio, you can come and have a look at my joysticks in the back after, okay?
Disgusting. On to Series 3, a year notable for the absence of Dominic Diamond, in storyline fatally burned in the oil rig explosion, and his replacement, future Rocketman director, Dexter Fletcher. Fletcher's series is the black sheep, beholden to his yelling, jumping and leering into camera, like something that should be sicking up rainwater from a church roof. My best mate from school was at a taping for Series 3 and came back in a huff. Dom weren't there, it was some other bloke. When we watched the tape back to try and spot him in the background, every freeze frame landed on a ludicrous gurning close-up of Fletcher. We made a game of it, to see who could pause on the most grotesque, annoying still.
That could be you, so keep watching, alright? So they should be pretty hot at them.
5 more points to Millard. In contrast to the airy, industrial spaces of 92 and 93, we're crammed down in the dungeons of Oxford Prison. Partway through the series, the prison reopened, causing a hasty move to Clerkenwell House of Detention, site of a future Most Haunted episode, where a crew member got razor slashed by a ghost, no doubt still pissed off they'd had to sit through this. The Fletcher series is marked by its egregious sponsorship deal with McDonald's, a partnership which Diamond, whose brother was a fervent anti-McDonald's campaigner, cited as his reason for quitting. As a result, we've got a presenter so cockney, even Danny Dyer would beg him, "Turn it in, you jam rag."
Hello and welcome to the GamesMaster Team Championship.
Deviating further, the series revolved around a team-based gaming tournament, with half its episodes eaten by the battle between 27 teams.
So our 3 teams tonight will be slogging it out against each other for an elusive position in the semi-finals. Good luck to all of them. You want to meet the teams? Yeah!
The teams consist of groups of lads in baseball caps trying to look hard, like those pictures of Russian kids at underage disco nights.
Laser Force. This is Laser Force. Here they are. Now, you all got your arms folded. You all look very serious. You're not going to be intimidated by the other teams, then?
Them? You must be joking.
What are we playing, then, you dirty todger?
There you go. The game is skitching. With me is Dave Perry, my old mate and general co-commentator. Here he is. Get ready, mate. 2, start your challenge.
Perry's commentary is lost beneath the simian hooting of Dexter Fletcher.
As you grab hold of cars to get extra speed. There's a car coming! What he's doing is hanging out. Whoa, a bit of oil. That's Dave, it's a good idea to hang on to them vehicles, isn't it? And then again, he hasn't really, even though he's going third. Neither of our former. They're with him, Jackal, and then battling it out. The 2 bars on the top left-hand side of the screen. That's the.
Every challenge is like this. The 2 shouting over each other like it's the bloody House of Commons.
Corner. There's a little Jim Power icon. Those are the number of hits he's got left. There's also an icon with SP on it. That's the number of smart bombs he's got left. There's also keep going, my man. He doesn't want to worry about the clock at the top. We're not nice and easy. He knows where everything is, but he's just been panicking. He's racing to a level, and he could be our first casualty. He's only got 1 hit left on his icon.
One can't help but wonder how Andy Crane would have coped if Violet ever got diarrhea and Fletcher was airlifted in as replacement.
Now, we'll have to see if Andrew Beresford from the Questers can do any better than 7th. Dave, please tell me he's going to do better than that.
The way Perry cuts down the kids' gaming achievements has big playground liar energy, always going on about being expelled from their last school for kicking a ball so hard it killed a PE teacher, but not believing you went to Spain on holiday.
Well, James likes to boast that he's completed sensible soccer on the Amiga, scoring at least 5 goals in every game. But he doesn't tell us what team he used, he doesn't tell us what teams he was playing against. He says he can complete Turtles on the first go, but he doesn't tell us whether he's a Nancy Boy easy level player or not.
This lad's in for it if Perry sees.
I can complete Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition on the Mega Drive easily, even on the hardest level.
In a treat for Press Gang fans, Dex brings back his appalling American accent.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. We name the winners of our Room of the Future competition.
I've heard that there's a secret track on Lamborghini for the SNES. Can this be true?
Thank the maker for Macho Man Randy Savage, a man with unbelievable charisma who always understood the assignment. As Randy picks his opponent out of the crowd, Dave Perry can't help himself with the old "wrestling's all fake" speech.
Well, I've seen the WWF and I'm not too convinced. I want to tell Randy and all the WWF here on GamesMaster we do it for real.
And what's more, my dad lets me drive his car, and I did a wheelie all the way down the M1.
Randy's playing as himself, but doesn't move for ages, and when they cut back, he's looking down at his controller like someone waking from a 30-year coma to headlines about President Trump's piss tape. Even if he did know what he was doing, wearing sunglasses in the darkness of an ill-lit dungeon, he can't see, and as all celebrities must, gets annihilated by a child.
That means Buzz is the winner. Let's get them both back on stage and give her a joystick.
In the future, if I have to go against Yokozuna and Crush, will you be my tag team partner?
Of course. It sounds like a great offer.
It turns out Randy Savage is the one man capable of shouting down Dexter Fletcher, who's left holding his mic like Floppy Pele at an orgy.
Together we'll be the tower of power, too sweet to be sour, funky like a monkey, sky's the limit, space is the place, birth in the macho man, doing the unbelievable, yeah!
The final heat of the team challenge sees Laser Force unveil a choreographed move so devastating, it renders their opponents too nervous to speak.
Laser Force! Wow, they're serious. Ooh, serious business, guys. What's going to happen to your questers?
Dexter actually saves me time from mocking the contestants by doing it himself.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, I suppose the better team won. Would you say you're the better team? Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. You're the better team. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Even viewers who've entered a competition get berated.
How many Mario games in Mario All-Stars? The answer was 4, of course. Question 3, how many bits does the Atari Jaguar have? Was it 64? Yes, of course it was. You had a good time then, yeah? Yeah? You was getting ready with me then, weren't you? You sure whether with me or not? Well...
Hello, I'm Fred Couples.
Alright, Fred, mate. After a unanimously negative reaction to Dexter Fletcher, Dom made a triumphant return in Series 4. And in keeping with the storyline, he's dead and we're in hell. Most hellish of all, it's still sponsored by McDonald's, and there's a real missed opportunity here, choosing not to stick more in horns and a pointy satanic beard, instead going for a nice shiny helmet. The picture quality's also straight from Satan's toilet, almost unwatchable. So we'll move through briskly. Do enjoy all dozen pixels stretched out over your 60-inch. But I defy anyone to find a better selection of pre-game interviews than this.
Now, David, what's your 2 favourite films of all time?
I like Bloodsport and Oliver's alright.
2 very similar films there.
Yeah.
Okay, Matthew, what do you like to do in your spare time?
I do martial arts quite a bit.
Can you show us any of the... A little quick one?
Not with my jeans on.
Not with your jeans on. Okay, fair enough, we'll accept that. And finally, Charles Berry. Charles, anyone call you Chuck? No?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. And what do you like to get up to when you're not playing games?
Disco skating.
Disco skating?
The kids are there for a Bomberman challenge.
And helping me out on Bomberman is Dave Perry. Dave, grey bandana, grey blue, serious bandana for a serious challenge?
That's where Hulk Hogan took his cue from.
What's an animal?
Some lovely screams of the damned in the consultation zone.
Please, please, GamesMaster. I want to get to level 3 on Micro Machines 2 on the Mega Drive, but I'm stuck on level 2. Can you help?
Funny to think when Judgment Day comes, the last thing we'll see is Patrick Moore's gigantic floating head coming out of the sky.
Nice one, big fella.
Don't be cheeky. Next.
GamesMaster, Bubsy 2 on the SNES is the most bizarre game I possess. Is there any way to make it even more bizarre?
Thank you, GamesMaster.
Imagine you got your hair done and put on a nice shirt to talk Dom through the basics of motion capture, then sat down to watch it with your family.
I asked my chubby mate Scott to give me a demo of how it's done.
By this point in 1994, the wrestling fad had burnt itself out, and this marks the final appearance, so unfashionable that Dom gets Marcus Bagwell's name wrong.
Incredibly star guests, please welcome from the world of WCW wrestling, Marcus Bagley and the Patriot, otherwise known as Stars and Stripes.
He gets teased with taking Bagwell's finisher.
I grab your leg like this.
This is very nice, actually.
And then like this, we're going to go. You ready?
Yep.
You sure?
Wait, no, you didn't me all over. No. Okay, no, I think I've seen enough of that, actually, yeah.
While Patriot's the sort of earnest good guy gimmick that's so anathema to Dom's cynicism, they pipe a sarky national anthem over the top.
Great, and moving on to you, Mr. Patriot. Why the mask?
Well, without this mask, I consider myself just an individual competitor, just another wrestler. But when I put the mask on, not only do I all of a sudden take on and represent the hopes and dreams of all great Americans.
Some come down after Hacksaw and Randy this.
The hopes and dreams, the work ethic, the hard work, the right way of doing things of all the great people across the world.
Okay.
Not even playing a branded wrestling game. Dom makes a joke about a stabbing.
Let him get away, no fat boy is stalking him, like that bloke who stalked Monica Seles, but even closer.
As Buff Bagwell wrestles his golden joystick out of the goblin's clutches, we reach the end of this GamesMaster retrospective. If I'm not too busy getting off with my girlfriend, the actual real Lara Croft, because my uncle works for Sony, on the next one, no wrestling, but more muscles.
Boys will be boys.
Boring.
Matthew.
Terrible.
And Chuck.
Horrible.